Yesterday I was talking to someone and I asked him, what time is your, like what time do you pray in the morning? So he told me 6:15. I said, okay, 6:15 is good now, but what do you guys do in the winter? You change it? He says, no, we always pray 6:15 in the winter also. I said, how is it possible? Sometimes Hanetzach Hama is not until 7 something. He said, we wait, we daven, we pray, and then at the end we put filling on. If it's a time like this, I said, well, there's no way to pray. And he said, well, so why won't you change it? It's because we need to go to work, or people want to go to work, or it's just the one. I said, still, if you change it to 6:30, you still be okay. 6:15 is very early. He says, no, then we need to rush. I said, how long does it take you to pray? He says, about an hour, 15 minutes in the morning. I said, that's very long. It's very long. Make it a little shorter. He said, well, we don't have kavanah. And I said, kavanah? If your whole kavanah, if your whole intention is to leave there on time, you never have a proper intention, right, to pray to begin with. In other words, if I'm, for example, going to sit down and I'm going to tell you, all right, let's now meditate. And we're going to sit down and we're going to relax and I'm going to take you to the whole preparation and the proper breathing and this and that. And you're going to tell me, that's very good, I got only 10 minutes for that. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And the problem is with the tefillah. Tefillah is a very important part of our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I'm going to tell you this. If you don't communicate well with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you don't learn to give the proper time and attention to praying to God, I doubt that you will have the proper ability also to, let's say, communicate with your spouse and to give your spouse the proper time, or as they say, the time of the day. You say, honey, I love you very much, but I got 10 minutes, I gotta go. So tell me what you want, let's go on with it. We spend some quality time, okay, I gotta go. And then you wonder why when you pray, Kadosh Baruch Hu does not answer you. Or you don't get it when someone says, listen, I put my effort. I made sure every day to speak to my wife. Every day. Didn't we speak for half an hour a day? Most people don't talk to each other half an hour a day. And she said, yes, every day from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. It didn't make a difference if I'm sick or you're sick and the world is a tsunami coming. That's what it is. But if I want to talk to you from 4:15 to 4:20, there was no, because we only scheduled then. That's not a good relationship. That's a failure. Now let's see what the Zohar says about that. The Zohar says, when a person prays, he should stand b'yirah. Stand in yirah. Shene'emar, ivdu et Hashem b'yirah. Stand with awe to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it means shelo yarutz betfilah. Don't run in your davening, right? Why? Because when you rush through davening, it looks like you're eager to finish. So your whole point of prayer is to finish praying, not because you want to pray. And the reason why you want to finish praying is because you don't understand why do you have to do this all together. There's no importance to you whatsoever. And the Zohar says when we come to case like this, Vai nefesh de'avda, oi to the soul who were lost. You basically are, your soul, your spiritual part of you is not connected with you. You're in a complete disconnect with yourself and your neshama. For example, let's say you are lactose intolerant, right? But I love ice cream I don't like ice cream, but let's say I love ice cream. So regardless of the pain that the consuming the ice cream or the cheese or whatever will cause to my body, I disregard it. I disregard it and I keep on eating. My neshama is suffering. My soul needs that channel of basically nourishment to it. My soul is yearning for the spiritual. What I do is, instead of supplying it with its need for nourishment, I'm becoming in a way a spiritual anorexic. I don't want to become spiritual because I am afraid of becoming spiritual. I starve my soul to the point that if I'll give you anything, my soul would not be able to consume it because I've deprived it for so long from its source. Praying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is maintaining that flow all the time, of the spiritual connection all the time. And it says, the secret to that is that a man has a nefesh, as a part of the soul, שמקבלת ומושכת אליה את הרוח הזה מערב שבת. That starts to come from you, that magnet starts מערב שבת. והרוח הזה שורה בתוך הנפש. That different attribute, ruach, that comes into the nefesh, start from Erev Shabbat. Therefore, we know that we have nefesh, ruach, and neshama. The nefesh is the lowest one of all. That who takes care of your necessities, the vital force of the body. Erev Shabbat, the nefesh, our nefesh, attracts the ruach to it. Therefore, the eating of Shabbat is not like the eating of every day. And every other physical needs that we do, even the unification of husband and wife together on Shabbat, is different. And as a matter of fact, it is better if you save it for Shabbat, so that physical contact of husband and wife would not be physical, but rather would be spiritual connection. There were many, this is not for us of course, there were many, we are weak and we don't live this level, but there were many Rabbanim that used to fast from Motzei Shabbat to Erev Shabbat just to enjoy the food of Shabbat. I don't know, I can hardly fast a day, but that's what they used to do. I don't know, they probably drank, but to fast without food just so they could experience that. We're not at that level, but you get the idea. And that comes me Erev Shabbat. There is something special in the air, and regardless of where you are, when Shabbat comes, Friday comes, it kind of, the sun is setting, but the light is coming. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. There's a certain feeling, yeah, that's right. There's this feeling that you can explain, of like, everything is quieting down. And when you go to Manhattan, even in deep Manhattan, in Times Square, with all the noise and all the lights and all the lights go down on Broadway, you still feel on Friday that Friday is coming. There's a certain feeling in the air. You tell me I'm making it up. I'm saying you're just not sensitive. It's there. It's there. It's not like you will go to other places, or let's say you'll be outside in nature, and Erev Shabbat you feel. You went to where were you? In Santa Fe. Santa Fe or Shabbat, right? How was Shabbat there? I can't hear you. Unbelievable. Why was unbelievable?
Can't describe it.
You can't describe it. It was different. You go to Tel Aviv, Sin City. It's different. Shabbat is different. You move to more Jewish neighborhoods. You go to Yerushalayim, it's like having, I don't know, extra dose of speed in your head. Everything is like becomes so it's like a spiritual LSD, when you all of a sudden feel things that you never felt before, to the point that sometimes it would even overwhelm you because it's so powerful. It's like the difference between drinking diluted bourbon or like casket strength, 120. It's like, whoa! That's what it does to you, but in a different way. You feel like dying. You feel that if I have to die, well, let's make it now, because it doesn't get any better than that. Your neshama is, and that's what we're doing. Praying, supposed to give us that on small dosages. We don't know how to pray because let's go. The same thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, Shabbat is it's almost over, right? I like it in the winter. It's just like this. In the summer, oh man, what a drag. Baruch Hashem, it's coming slower. Right? How many times you hear it? What difference does it make if Shabbat ends at 9 o'clock or ends up at 6 o'clock? Shabbat. I feel honestly, I feel more depressed in the winter. The Shabbat ends early, because now I have more hours without Shabbat. So you say, well, it doesn't make a difference. The same 25 hours. No, you don't understand. Because on Friday, the preparation for Shabbat already creates. I feel the Kedusha on Shabbat, the preparation already. But you're taking it for me in the winter a few hours earlier. I feel bad. And that's what it is. And then the nefesh begadlut v'to'elet yetera ma she'ayta. Then the nefesh, the vital parts, the inside of you, because we add this extra component, a higher spiritual component, even to most the behemic things of us, it becomes more efficient. I'm sure you all heard the concept. They say, how do they say it? You never start a diet on a weekend, or you never start a diet on Shabbat, because eating on Shabbat is your diet. Eating on Shabbat. Of course, if you're doing it for the sake of eating on Shabbat, not because of filling up your stomach, that is missing the point. So therefore, everything becomes more efficient, more vital, more meaningful. Everything. Sleeping on Shabbat is good. We said, don't worry, where are you going to sleep? You're going to die anyway. Where you sleep? So Shabbat is different. Shabbat is different. It says, and that's why that's what we learn. Kol nefashot Israel, all the souls of the Jews, mit'atrot b'yom HaShabbat. They're being crowned in Yom HaShabbat. And their crown is that special ruach, that extra segment of the neshama that comes in you. On all three levels, we get in different portions, we get an extra part. The thing is to hold on to it. The thing is to remember what you felt on Shabbat, how you could really be different on Shabbat, and try to carry that memory throughout the week. On Shabbat, you're dignified. You eat, you're happy, you sing. That's why we're not allowed to be sad on Shabbat, because we should not be sad during the week. Why should we be sad? The only thing we should be sad about is Chaz v'Shalom Chilul Hashem. Everything else from Hashem is good. And on Shabbat, when people want to pray and they want to run out, I'm not saying prolong your service to 4 hours and do all kind of concerts in between. Make your tefillah more meaningful on Shabbat. You can make it short and yet meaningful. That's why we sing a little bit more on Shabbat. The tefillah is more joyous. That's why some people dedicate a special talit for Shabbat. You don't have to. We're just saying, Michael, don't buy another talit. But that's what it is. And when you have this feeling inside of you, try to record it, engrave it on your soul. When you come to pray, start with your Motzei Shabbat Tefillah. Try to carry over the Kedusha of the Tefillah to Motzei Shabbat and throughout the week. So your Tefillah would not be, come on, let's go, kind of a Tefillah. The Tefillah is there because you want to, because you do need to give a certain nutrients to your neshama throughout the week as well. Yes, that's why on Shabbat we make a big meal. leharbot. We have a lot of food. During the week, tochal, eat bread with olive oil, some homegrown tomatoes, which is very good with olive oil, very nice. You ever try this, by the way? You ever try this? Take homegrown tomatoes, olive oil, fresh bread, piece of garlic. It's good. Put some oregano on top. If you want a slice of feta cheese, dip it like this. Heaven! Shabbat, something else. Shabbat, make your meals and so on and so forth. During the week, it's very good. Remember all these tefillot that you felt on Shabbat, all the feelings that you felt on Shabbat, and carry it over. Then your tefillah during the chol will be different as well. Don't confuse length with intent. Don't confuse intent with or kavanah, should we call it, right? With it's not the same thing to have kavanah and to have. You can have a long process that is very strenuous, is very boring, and you lose your kavanah. Kavanah is to aim. Lechaven is to aim. As much as you would aim, you need to take your. Maybe we lost it when we stopped using archeries. Maybe snipers can come. We can get a sniper here to teach us what does it mean to have a kavanah. What are the preparations that you need to do to have a proper intent, and you need to prepare yourself. That's why you need to prepare yourself for Shabbat. You don't go from here to Shabbat. Okay, take the clothes. Boom, Shabbat. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Shabbat shalom. Goodbye. And Eliyahu Hanavi 2 seconds after. Slowly prepare. Take a shower. Change your clothes. The Ari has a whole section about the kavanot, the intents that he used to use on changing from weekday clothes to Shabbat clothes. And Shabbat clothes by the Ari were very meaningful. He used to wear 4 different white garments to associate with the 4 letters of Shem Hashem. Shirt, tzitzit, and so on and so forth. So you see that even to mundane acts you can implant or you could introduce deep spiritual meanings. And tefillah is maybe the peak of our spiritual experience, the weekly spiritual experience. So therefore take it very seriously. There's another thing, and I'll make it short because I have to. Not to have to make it short, I have to say it. There's another extremely powerful method to feel that spiritual, to feel HaKadosh Baruch Hu in your actions, is try to learn Lishma. Try to learn for the sake of learning. Let the joy of the learning of the Torah really bubble inside of you. And all of a sudden you would feel how gates of wisdom are open in front of you. And it will be amazing. You would start with a little seed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu throws into your head. And now let's see if the curiosity will get somewhere. So, that's interesting, let me start doing it. And you start, right, Yeshua? You start writing, and before you know, you already wrote like 4 pages. Says, all I had was one little question. And then you feel that sigh of deep breath is the breath of life, of the spiritual. It's not just for when you breathe like this, it's not just for your lungs or for your blood, it's for your soul as well. So try to experience that in learning. And when you learn besimcha. Don't learn with, okay, I have to learn because I don't want to go to school, so I have to learn. Learn besimcha. Learning, come on, let's go. Take this, take an initiative, start reading. You explain, get into it. Let go of everything. Let yourself experience yourself into the tefillah. Into the limud. When you're allowed to, because there are not going to be so many chances in your life to really, that you will be able to express yourself and it's going to be valid. You have an opinion, he has an opinion, and it's all good. And this expression of individuality through learning is also a very powerful and yet underestimated way to reach a spiritual high. So I hope we're all going to feel this on Shabbat, stop preparing for Shabbat, learn on Shabbat, and be very, very happy, because happiness is the breeding ground of spirituality. You can't be spiritual and be sad. Shabbat Shalom.